So you recently joined Vice's sports site as a founding partner of the Clubhouse. What's that about, and how did that come about?
Clubhouse was something that, the Vice conversation was something that I really had to sit down and kind of get my team on board with it. You know, when you think about Vice, it's like edgy, it's like off the cusp, it's, you know, no holds bars over there with Vice. And for me, I felt like that was my lane. I felt like I had a voice. I felt like I didn't want people to just go on YouTube to watch basketball highlights. I didn't want to just be known for what the people say about me on ESPN and all the typical sports, you know, networks. So for me, I had a chance to create something over there at Vice Sports, which was the Clubhouse. And it's a voice of the athletes. And the athletes is telling their own stories, the stories that they want to tell, not what somebody else is writing about them, not what you read on the back page, not what you see on the typical sports website. So I created the Clubhouse, and I created the show Stay Mellow. And it's, you know, 8 to 10 episodes of just me going around and showing how sports can transcend, you know, just in life. You know, whether it's music, you know, fashion. We all want to be musicians, you know, and musicians want to be athletes. So I wanted to show kind of that connection, but say it in my own way and have my own voice. And, you know, I'm the first person on there with Clubhouse to have his own show. We have a lot more athletes, you know, that's going to be coming, that's going to have their own tempo shows on there. And it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest parts about it is that, you know, fans can kind of pull back the curtain and see who the athlete is as a person. So for you, who is Carmelo Anthony the person? Some of the things that we don't know about and that we would be surprised about.
Well, I'm mellow, man. It's, you know, no pun intended. You know, I like to have fun, and I like to tell stories that nobody is out there telling. You know, just a quick example. I went to Cuba a couple months back. You know, I went with Pele. I went with, you know, the New York Cosmos and the NASL. And everybody was looking like, man, what the hell is Melo doing in Cuba with Pele, with the NASL? Like, what's happening? So nobody really knew what was going on. So I wanted to tell that story. I wanted to tell the story of me kind of going in Cuba and not the typical tourist story, like me getting in the nitty-gritty of Cuba and showing, you know, how sports is a big part of Cuba, but nobody really knows that. Nobody really sees that. The only thing we see is the beaches and, you know, how America and Cuba is not getting along and, the politics behind it. But nobody's really showing the sports aspect of it and how these kids and the youth is really in need of a lot of help down there. But all they have for themselves is sports. You know, whether it's street soccer, whether it's indoor soccer, whether it's street basketball, that's all that they have to live for. You know, so I wanted to tell that story, but I wanted me to tell that story through my eyes, through my lens.